Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Inshallah, today my group will be explain clearly on the topic Islam in the Federal Constitution. So before that, I want to share the introduction of this topic. Okay, the occupation by the Britain beginning in 1786 lead to intensive capitalist expansion. The Malayan economy was exposed to the international market, and Malaya became rich source of income for British. British rule in Malaya was interrupted in 1942 by the Second World War, which Japanese took control of Malaya. During the war, British Colonial Office conclude that the pre-war political system would be unsuited to the conditions likely to prevail and the end if the war. So, it was argued that Malaya needed to another system of government. So, the division of Malaya into three separate entities. First, Strait Settlement, and FNS and UMS was considered to be ineffective and hindered the development of a uniform system of law and administration. The legal fiction of sovereignty of Malaya ruler and their constitution position was seen to undermine the commemorated reform rejection of the right of non-Malaya. Okay, therefore, the colonial office proposed a new systematic from the government to suit the interest of the British in Malaya. In September 1945, the Japanese surrendered to Admiral Mountbatten at Singapore. The initial post-war period was followed by the passing of Malayan Union Agreement in 1946, which was setback to the Malay majority. This chapter considered to formation of UMNO as an opposition to the Malaya Union proposal, the independence constitution draft by the Law Commission, and the position of Islam in the constitution.
So we had heard about the introduction of Islam in the Federal Constitution.
Alright, now we will continue our discussion about development of Islam and its law. So Azrin, what's your opinion about these things?
From what I have read, so we'll continue. For your information, when the UMNO win the independence at 31st December 1957, Islam was not given any crucial or important job for the country. So, one of the factors from these things, it is because when the government has put their attention more to the press issue such as the nation building, rather than pay attention from the Islam and its principle or the development of Islam institution. So, in the making of the Federal Constitution by the Constitutional Commission, they wondered if they should put any article about Islam, article providing that Islam should be the official religion for the federation, and from the majority it was a big yes for it. But then it has some condition, which is when this thing happen, the non-Muslim should not have any decrease from its rights for the non-Muslim, and then in the article they should not has any prevention from them to profess, to practice, and to propagate their religion or any other religion. But then the official religion of the federation still Islam. So when this thing happen, there have been some conflict when the ruler of the Malay, such as the Raja-Raja Melayu, oppose this enactment. Because when from their logic, when there is official religion for the federation, that means the head of the federation, such as the Prime Minister, will become the head of official religion throughout the federation, and it will become conflict with the position of the ruler as the head of the official religious, the position of ruler as head of official religion in their state. But then the ALS party clarified that it will not have any cause and or any conflict because their first intention making Islam as the official religion in the federation primarily for ceremonial purpose only. So as example, reciting doa in the opening and the closing of any official ceremonies. And thank you. That's all from me.
Yeah.
So we will continue to the main point of our discussion and our assignment, that is Islam in the Federal Constitution, that will be explained by Faiz. So he will be explaining.
Alright. We explain about the Islam in the Federal Constitution. In Article 3, say about the religion of the Federation. State that first, Islam is the religion of the Federation, but other religion may be practiced in peace and harmony in any part of the Federation. Alright. Second, the Constitution of the State of Malacca, Penang and Sabah and Sarawak shall each make provision for conferring on the Yang di-Pertuan Agong the position of head of the region of Islam in that state. And third, nothing in this article derogates from any provision of this constitution. And fourth, Yang di-Pertuan Agong shall be head of the region of the Islam in the federal territories of Kuala Lumpur, Labuan and Putrajaya. In other aspect, most of the state constitutions contain provisions that require that only a person of the Malay race who profess the religion of Islam can be appointed to be a chief minister, that is Menteri Besar. After independence, these provisions have been amended to enable a ruler to appoint a non-Muslim chief minister, provided that in the ruler's judgment, he is likely to command the confidence of the majority of the members of the State Legislative Assembly. The Constitution of the Malay State still provides that the State Secretary shall be of the Malay race and profess the Muslim religion as permitted by State Article 8, 5E of the Federal Constitution. However, there is nothing in the Federal Constitution providing that the PM, Prime Minister or any Minister or Federal High Official must be a Muslim. Next, we will continue to the next point about the equation of Islam and Malay. Islam and the Malay have been given special status since pre-colonial times and were even preserved by the colonial British. The equation of Malay and Islam has been endorsed in Article 160 of the Federal Constitution. Article 3 and its special treatment for the Islamic religion can be linked to the Article 153, which gives special right to the Malays. This article enables the government to promote Islamically related activities, social and economic, for the development of the Malays. This special position of Islam is also justified by virtue of the solemn Islamic oath taken by the YDA 12. The YDA declares that we solemnly and truly declare that we shall at all times protect the religion of Islam and uphold the rule of law and order in this country. Therefore, protection for the religion of Islam can be extended to provide necessary funds to the development of Islam in all aspects, especially in the economic sector. In fact, this Malay Islam issue are regarded as sensitive and cannot be questioned. We shall deal with this institution in succeeding chapters. In order, the facilities of the administration of Islam in each state, the concern of Muslim religion, Majlis Agama Islam, was established. Its role is to aid and advise the ruler on all matters relating to the religion of the state and Malay custom. For your information, there are also exist in each state of a Department of Religious Affairs, Jabatan Agama Islam, responsible for the day-to-day administration of matters relating to the Muslim religion, headed in each case by an administrator. Some members of the department are also members of the council, and there is a close relationship between the two. There is a legislation in each state for the setting up Muslim courts. for the adjustment of dispute relating to Muslim family law and the trial of Muslim offence. They also provide for the registration of Muslim marriage, divorce and revocation of divorce. That's all from me about the Islam in the Federal Constitution. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain about our last point for this discussion about Islamic law and the supremacy of the Constitution. The Constitution declares itself to be the supreme law of the Federation, and legislation passed after it came into effect, which is inconsistent with the federal law, are also void in Article 75. All colonial secular legislation which run counter to Sharia, such as the Evidence Act, Penal Code, Guardianship of Infants Act, Contract Act, are still effective. Therefore, we have cases where the Malay Muslim judge has ignored the application of Islamic principles. For instance, in the case of Mariam versus Muhammad Arif, Abdul Hamid J, following the English principle of the welfare of the child, decided to give custody to the mother. This was in spite of the fact that she had consented to give her children to the father, and she had remarried a stranger having no relationship with the child. Likewise, in the case of Commissioner of Religious Affairs Terengganu and Ors versus Tengku Mariam, the High Court rejected the authority of a fatwa legal ruling issued by the Mufti, declaring a wakaf to be valid and held instead that the wakaf was held on the authority of the decision of the Privy Council from India and Africa. Although the actual decision was reversed by the federal court on a principle of estoppel, nevertheless, the federal court's judge stated that if they were free to decide on the validity of the wakaf, they would also have held it as void in reliance to the English law. In Nafsiyah versus Abdul Majid, 1969, the High Court held that by virtue of the Contract Act 1956, a woman could sue for breach of promise to get married, although such action would not come under the Islamic law. In England, such an action has been abolished. While the law in England seems to comply with the Islamic law in Malaysia, the law in Malaysia is still at variance with the Islamic law. The above are a few examples where Islamic law has been displaced and ignored in the civil court. In fact, conflicts between the decision of Sharia courts and civil courts have frequently occurred. In addition, in the Selangor administration of Islamic law enactment and followed in other states, provide that in the event of a conflict between the Sharia and civil courts, the latter has an overriding jurisdiction. The same provision also remain in the Court of Judicature Act. The position of Sharia courts and their judges were low compared to their civil counterparts. They only have jurisdiction over Muslims, and therefore a non-Muslim who is the party or an abettor with the Muslim party will be outside their jurisdiction. The Muslim courts that such criminal jurisdiction shall not be exercised in respect of any offence punishable with imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months or any dine exceeding 1,000 ringgit or with both. This is effect means that none of the hard offence can be dealt with in the Sharia court, even if the parties should want it. There was a need to upgrade the position of the Sharia court in the 1980s during the Mahathir administration. There was an amendment to the Federal Constitution and other legislation which seems to give the Sharia court a better position.
Okay, thank you. That all from us. See you next time.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. My group was explained clearly about topic Islam in the federal constitution. Okay, so the conclusion is we know right. The sentence in federal constitution was clear that say in Article 3 number 1 under topic region of the federation, that number 1 is but say Islam is the religion of the federation, but other religion may be practiced and in peace and harmony in any part of the federation. So that's clear. Islam is the religion of the federation. Okay, so the important is Islam in the federal constitution is clear.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faizuddin bin Sirin, number matric 039716.
My name is Nick Muhammad Nazir bin Ramli, number matric 040625.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name Muhammad Al-Ma'ruf bin Abdul Hamid, number matric 040567.
My name is Azrin Hanafi bin Zaini, matric number 03993.